Hey guys, welcome back to another Mindset Matters video. I thought I would give you a little bit of a different scenery to look at. This is now my dining room kitchen area and not my bedroom. Switching it up for you guys. Today's also a topic request. So this was requested to me. If you have a topic that you would like me to talk about, please just send it my way. So today we're going to talk about mindless snacking, which is not just a quarantine issue. This is an issue people have all year round, and it's very much more emphasized, I think, during this time because we're home a lot more, close to our pantries and our fridges, right there, and we're watching more Netflix, and we're near our kids' snacks, and we're out of our routines, etc., etc. So it's really easy to just start eating mindlessly and eating more than we should and being tempted by things and all sorts of things, right? So what are some things that we can do about that? One of the first things I would say would be don't buy it, okay? So Easter just occurred. I would love some mini eggs right now, but I'm not gonna buy any. Maybe at the end of the week when they're on sale, maybe I'll buy some if I'm still thinking about them, but only like a little packet, and then I'll be good till next year. And that's just a great trick all year round. When you go through the grocery store, there's endless options in front of you, and the simplest thing you can do for yourself is just not buy the things that tempt you. That's a very simple trick. Next thing I would say would be to find a healthier alternative to things that you're craving. So for instance, craving something sweet, you could do something like plain yogurt with a little bit of tablespoon of jam stirred in, something like that. Just finding those little substitutions of things that are just gonna curb that craving without having to go buy like a whole thing of ice cream, etc., stuff like that. The next thing that I would say, which doesn't really work a whole lot quarantine wise, but it might help you, is I used to have a rule for myself that if I wanted something, I would have to make it myself. So if you want cookies, cool, make cookies from scratch. It tends to slow down the process a little bit, adds a little bit more effort. You got to go out and like get the ingredients. You got to like maybe find the recipe first, and then you've got to like do all the baking and all the cleanup and all that stuff, and that can be sometimes just like forget it. But now you guys are home more, you have a little more time, that just might be something that you're willing to do. So just keep in mind that, but that does help. Like, you know, if you want pie, well, that's a lot of work. Cheesecake, that's a lot of work, like all these sorts of things. But making the rule that you have to make it yourself first can help sort of curb that desire for that thing. And then also the next thing, like fill up on nutritious food. So making sure all your meals are balanced with protein, fats, and carbs. So you're meeting your nutritional and energy needs throughout the day, and you're not just like completely overdoing it on carbs and realizing by the end of the day you haven't had a single thing of protein. And that's just going to keep you feeling more satisfied throughout the day as well. And coinciding with that, meal planning and prepping. So before all this, maybe you were in a routine of prepping your lunches for the week, having, you know, this is what I have for breakfast every day, and this is my snack, and continue to do that even while you're in this situation. Continue to meal prep, have your containers in the fridge. Know that like this is just what I have for breakfast, this is my morning snack, this is my afternoon snack, and that can just really help you just stay on track in that way. Drinking water. So I used to be an awesome water drinker, like coaching you guys. I'd have my water and I just constantly sip it all day long. It was never an issue. Now that I'm home a lot more, I'm realizing that I'm forgetting to drink water because I don't have my water bottle with me. And so I have to make a note to like, you know, either have a glass of water sitting next to me at all times and just carry it around the house, or just fill up my water and just bring it around with me to the different rooms. So remember to drink your water. That can help curb like cravings, but also it's just like the healthy thing to do. Like, don't forget about your water. Next thing would be just like staying busy. Go exercise, get a task going, things like that. The exercise is a good thing to do too. It tends to stop you from wanting to indulge, because after all that hard work, sometimes you're like, oh, I put in all that effort and I don't want to ruin it with, you know, a treat. Whereas some of you might be the opposite, where you're like, oh, I had this exercise, now I deserve this piece of cheesecake. So know yourself a little bit, but just the act of exercising itself is going to keep you busy. And it's just another part of the day where you're not like tempted by things, right? Because you're busy. So pick up a book, start a puzzle, keep your mind busy, get on a Zoom call with a friend, that sort of thing, with like a cup of tea or something. And stay busy. That really helps. Portion things out if you do have it. So I kind of talked about like the mini eggs, like just buying a small packet and that's it. If you're gonna sit down and watch a Netflix show, you want some popcorn, put it out in a little bit of a bowl, the serving that you are having, and then that's that. And that's gonna help. Instead of just bringing the entire bag of popcorn or chips to the couch, you'll take that thing to the bottom. Don't even lie to me. We all do it. Next thing, don't have invisible. So if you got stuff in the house, keep it behind some closed doors. If you do happen to bake, try not to leave it out on the counter where it's easily accessible. Maybe put it in a Ziploc bag, hide it in the cupboards. Just having it out of sight, it'll be out of mind. That's the same thing with just any sort of like treats and stuff. What you do want to have in sight is, I've got this bowl of apples that you're leaning against right now. You have cut up vegetables in the fridge that are just like ready to go. And just having a lot of healthy snacking options that are just there and ready and portioned out. Super helpful as well. Brushing your teeth after you have like a meal. It's another great way of just like telling your body that you're just done eating. Like, it's a good psychological like thing, like a little mint or a little piece of gum. It just like tells your digestive system like, okay, that's it. Like, we're done. And then just also like what actually tastes good after brushing your teeth. Not a whole lot of things. Well, except for chocolate. That would be kind of good. But then, you're like, oh, then I'm going to brush my teeth again, right? So brushing your teeth helps. And then also like, if you're really craving something, maybe like set a timer for like 20 minutes. And if you're like, if I'm still feeling like that certain thing, then okay, maybe have it. But again, like portion it out. If this is a hard one because we can't, like, food is kind of weird right now, but if you could, like, if you do make a batch of cookies or whatever, maybe you could leave some on the doorstep for your neighbor if they're okay with that. It's kind of weird times around that kind of stuff right now. Or put it in the freezer underneath stuff so you can't see it. You can have recipes as well. You can take a recipe and cut it in half. There's also a lot of, if you Google like single serving like things, like single mug cake, and where it's like you just make it in a mug and then you have a single portion. That can be better than making like an entire sheet of brownies or whatever, because you want just one. So finding the single serving recipes, you can find them anywhere online. Just type it into Google. That can be helpful as well if you're really wanting something. Yeah, that was pretty much it. That's all I can think of. If you have any tips that you use for mindless snacking and temptations and things like that, leave them below. I would love to see them. I'm sure everybody else would love to read them. Yeah, that's about it. If you want more of a personalized approach or help or coaching with nutrition, shoot a message over to Kelsey. She is Precision Nutrition certified. She can help you more on a personal level. And go beyond just this topic of mindless snacking and more, getting more in depth with you. That would be great too. Otherwise, I hope you guys are having a really nice day, getting out in the sun, getting your workouts in. Yeah. Oh, just before I leave, this was the last tip I want to talk about. Remembering your goals, right? So throughout all this, like, just thinking back to like, what are your goals? Like, how do you want to feel in your performance for your workouts? How do you want to feel when you're chasing after your kids? How do you want to look this summer? Like, these are all things that you should revisit during this time, and that can help as well. But then at the same time, like in that same token, if you notice your body's changing, take note of what's going on. Like, are you eating enough, drinking enough water? Are you sleeping enough? Are you exercising? But then also realizing like, hey, it's totally okay. It's a pandemic right now. It shouldn't be your biggest worry. As long as you're healthy and you're feeling good and you're taking care of yourself, that's really all that matters at this time. So don't stress about it as well. Yeah, I wanted to sneak that in there before the end. Okay, all right. Have a good day, guys. We'll see you in the next one.